When it comes to building a business online, getting sales, and making profit, the number one struggle I hear is, Marcus, how can I get traffic online? And today we're going to be looking at a simple prompt that's going to help you get traffic so that you can build your business and hopefully get some sales. This is something that most people overlook, but it's hiding in plain sight. And today, not only am I going to show you how to use this prompt to get all kinds of stuff that'll help you get traffic, but I'm also going to show you how to build it out so that people actually engage. This is super important because when we get traffic, we don't just want viral videos of cats doing silly things. We want stuff that's going to funnel people into our business and eventually, hopefully, get some sales. This is the important, boring part that nobody talks about. Yeah, everyone wants to go viral and get famous, but me, I'd rather build an actual business. So today, I'm going to show you how this one AI prompt has gotten me lots of traffic for my businesses, my websites, affiliate sales, and more. And the best part, you can use AI to get tons of these super fast. Then we just spin them into our content, promote them online, and get some traffic. So if you're excited to learn exactly what this prompt is and how I use it to get traffic online, well then, smash the like button. Let's hop in the computer, and I'm going to show you how this works. Right here, right now. Come on, let's dive in. All right, so let's get into it here and go through how this thing works, the prompts used, and everything. What I want you to realize is that there is a major pattern behind a lot of high traffic websites, and it's used like crazy. It's actually very awesome, it's very simple, and it just keeps going and going. When we look at traffic, one of the things that we don't want is we don't want it to time out. Like, I don't want to have a niche where I can talk about basketball shoes and that's it. I want to be able to talk about which shoes work, why they work, what kind of positions work, how to jump higher, the whole 9 yards. So we want something very big, but that's not what we're talking about here. This is something that is in any niche, even a shallow niche. There is a way to make this work for that as well. Now, before we get into it, let's look at these numbers. What if I told you that there was a single type of content that some of the biggest sites on the internet use to get millions of visitors each and every month? And most people creating content online have no idea how to use it right or how to use it properly. And I do want to have a little disclaimer here before our main disclaimer that says this is really powerful and you want to use it ethically. I'm going to show you an example of how people use this in a non-ethical way so that you know what to stay away from, and you make sure that you fact check these with AI several times so that you get something good. This is super important. This is not a hack, it's not a loophole, it's something that's been working since the early days of the internet. I've been using it pretty much forever. I just really didn't know that it was a thing until I was like, wait a minute, light bulb moment. A lot of people could get some help from this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some traffic numbers like this one here that's getting like 1.3 million visitors a month. They did take a hit with traffic, but still 1.3 million is not a slouch. That's all from search traffic. We're going to talk about how this works on search, and it also works on social media, short videos, Pinterest, and literally any traffic method out there. This is super important because this site does nothing but collect and present data. It's pulling tons and tons of traffic. Here's another one. Pew Research is getting somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 million visitors a month, and on we go. Now, if you notice something very important about these two sites, they are not entertainment, they're not clickbait, they're not viral meme pages, they're not influencer brands. They are sites that collect and present a specific type of content we're going to talk about here, because that content attracts backlinks, search rankings, AI citations, and traffic on autopilot. What we're going to do is we're going to go through this and show you the evidence line by line. First, here are the stats about using stats in marketing. Before I reveal the exact strategy, let's do something meta. Let's look at what the data actually says about using data in your marketing. This is important because there's tons of data out there, and AI is a pro at finding data. First of all, 92% of consumers trust data-backed content more than opinion-based content. And yes, I got the receipts to back all this up below. I'll show you in just a minute. 3 times more backlinks are earned by content that includes original research and statistics, which up until now was difficult. You had to research and do all this stuff, pay people to do it. I paid close to $1 million to have people write different things for me and for my businesses and students and stuff like that. So I know how powerful this is. And before, this cost a lot of money. Now with AI, super fast. 68% of business-to-business buyers say they rely on data and research before making purchasing decisions. Consumers are the same way. 2.3% higher click-through rate when you use this. 73% of content marketers say data-driven content consistently outperforms other formats. And 56% of journalists say they are more likely to cover a story that includes original data. Now, what does all this mean? Statistics, data, original, reports. What are we looking at here, Marcus? It seems like we got to write a bunch of stuff and, be the next journalist extraordinaire. That's not it. What we're looking for here is a pattern. Numbers attract attention. Notice how reading off these statistics is more engaging than me just talking about something and hoping you like it. Numbers attract attention. Numbers earn trust. Numbers get shared. Numbers get linked to. And in the age of AI search, numbers get cited in AI overviews, which means your content gets surfaced even when someone doesn't click through to your website. Also, social media, this stuff goes crazy. Now, I want to backtrack a little bit and talk about some people that use this in their marketing. There is a political researcher guy that's super big. He's got books out there. I don't agree with his politics, but he is good in terms of sales and marketing and understanding numbers and words. And he says, this is Frank Luntz, it's not what you say, it's what people hear. There's two things at play here. There's what you say and what someone actually hears. There's a great song that was years ago, and it says, all lies and jest, still a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. One of the best lyrics ever, because that's literally how people are, right? They disregard what they don't want, they look for what they want. So our job as marketers is to point their brain to something that makes sense. Luntz spent decades studying how language lands in the human mind. His core insight is that the framing of information matters more than the information itself. I'm going to repeat that because everyone says content is king. We're in the age of information. But what Frank said here is that the framing of the information matters more than the information. If you were to put this in real world terms, that's like saying your Rembrandt painting is worth less than the frame it's in. That's kind of a big statement. Let's go a little bit deeper into this. I wanted to bring that up as an example. That's obviously not true. I don't think any frame on the planet is worth as much as a Rembrandt. But going through and looking at this, we need to understand the power of the frame. And this applies directly to how you present numbers. Numbers are easy. Numbers you can find with AI super quick. A statistic without the right frame is just a number. A statistic with the right frame is a sales tool. Very, very important. Now, let's talk about the pages that are getting massive traffic, and then we'll show you the prompt and how this works. I want you to understand this, not just give you a prompt, because let's face it, you got a bunch of prompts, right? You can go find 1 million prompts today if you want to. Maybe not 1 million, but you can find some prompts. We need to understand why this works, how it works, and how to put it together so that you can actually get something that drives traffic to your website. These are pages that are getting massive traffic right now. We're going to look at what's happening from Ahrefs. Here is a page from HubSpot about marketing statistics. Now, they did lose a bunch of organic keywords, but their traffic actually went up, so I'm not too worried about that. We care about the traffic, not the rankings. A lot of people like vanity rankings. I don't care. If I get traffic, I'm happy. You look at my site in Ahrefs, it looks like the worst site known to man. However, I get a bunch of traffic and make sales. That's what this is about, super important. So we can see here they're getting 6,600 visitors a month for a traffic value of almost $13,000. What does that mean? Well, more about that in just a minute. HubSpot has a 2026 marketing statistics, trends, and data page. Now, I'm willing to bet that this page getting all this traffic and all this traffic value probably has something that's underutilized, and we're going to take a look at it, because this page can be broken up into social media content ad infinity. It could go on forever. I'm going to show you how this works in just a minute. First, let's take a look at another one. Here's one in the credit card debt niche. They're getting 2,700 visitors a month from one post from Google alone, not even including social media, Pinterest, short videos, all of this. Again, very important. And we also see this stuff gets shared. You want stuff that gets shared on social media, it needs to be shareable. Numbers and statistics, we will say that right, get shared big time. Understanding this is key. Now, do you see what's happening here? These are not just blog posts with clever writing. They're not viral videos. They're not social media campaigns. These are pages that collect, organize, and present numbers in a way that makes other people want to link to them, cite them, and share them. And here's the part that most people miss. This same strategy that makes these pages rank on Google also makes them get cited by AI. The future of search is AI citations. We all know that. And AI loves statistics. Computers love numbers and statistics. That's why this is so great. A lot of people are like, hey, ChatGPT, write me a poem about love. Yeah, you might be okay there, but where it really shines is numbers, statistics, and patterns. Numbers, statistics, and patterns. Very important. Now, here is the thing behind all of this. The secret ingredient that powers Statista, Pew Research, HubSpot, and all of these is statistics, niche-specific data, numbers with context. This is very straightforward to write. You don't have to think about it. It's right there in plain English. And with AI, you can now find, organize, and frame and spin statistics. That's what Frank was all about, was spinning statistics for his way, in any niche for a full content machine in like an afternoon. I'm going to say, maybe a couple of weeks. Afternoon's a little lofty, maybe for someone who's been doing this a while, but let's give you a couple weeks. Now, we're going to get into some super detailed stuff in just a minute. So if you want the notes, the prompts, and everything, you can check out joinmarcus.com. But only do that after you watch this, because what you're going to learn is how to do it, which is super important. Now, drum roll please, the earnings disclaimer. I've made a lot of money online, and I want you to realize that watching videos, trying to learn this stuff, the vast majority of people sitting where you're sitting, trying to make money, make nothing. My results are not typical. Other people's results are not typical. Even with AI, there's work involved. There's effort. You got to go out there and you got to treat this like a business. So don't expect to watch a video and poof, the money fairy comes and leaves money under your pillow. No. But this is stuff that you can actually learn and hopefully get some results from. But just don't expect it to be some magic bullet. I think that's the problem that people have. Now, let's get into the psychology of why this works. Why statistics dominate the web. First of all, 50% of people struggle with this. This is an emotional hook. A precise number, 53.7% of people struggle with this. Notice how this makes you think, hey, which category am I in? Am I the 10% that don't struggle? Or the 1,000,000% that do? What is it? Now, going through here and looking at these results, we want to look at the difference between an actual number versus something else, right? Like there was something years ago, or actually I think it's like a year old, where someone had said $177,566 was the average affiliate marketing earning, which is not true. This is a lie. This was based on data about a job, not a side hustle or self-employment type thing. We got to understand this, because what happened here, I want to show you this. This fake number here actually went through and went viral. You had tons and tons of people now saying that this is the average earnings of an affiliate marketer. It wasn't true, but it went viral. Why did it go viral? Because it's a specific number. Now, we don't want to do what they did and borrow and lie about statistics. We want to use something solid and concrete and fact check it. Frank Lunt's framing principle is applied to statistics. What he said in Words That Work was the same data can be framed in different ways. This is key. Same data can be framed different ways. So if I have 53% of people struggle with X, can I get 12 pieces, 15 pieces, 20 pieces of content from that one data point? Yes, I can. This is important, because the more you create, the more solid information you have, the better this is going to be. You could use a fear frame, where it's something like 35% of homeowners delay repairs and it costs them 3 times more. Opportunity, only 12% of small businesses use this. Social proof, this many people have already made the switch. Urgency frame, this market grew X amount last year. So looking at all these, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the strong version versus the weak version. 34% of homeowners delay repairs. Lunt's version would be 1 in 3 homeowners put off repairs, and it usually costs them more later. Are you one of them? Same number, completely different impact. The Lunt's version converts to 1 in 3, which is more relatable than 34%. Same exact thing, just worded different. Now, going through here, again, we're going to get in the prompts in a minute. joinmarcus.com is where you can go to get them. When we do this, we need to know how news sites, clickbait empires, and info sites use this. BuzzFeed does a lot of clickbait, but they also use a lot of stats. Now, there's two types of clickbait. There's one that's clickbait and switch, which is, hey, you're going to get this, come to my website. It's not there. That's clickbait and switch. Clickbait, obviously, we want to get people to click on our stuff, so we can use ethical stuff, make it entertaining, and then go through and get the click and deliver on the promise. That's a good way of doing it. BuzzFeed, I'm not a big BuzzFeed user, but I think they do pretty good at that. I think they kind of skirt the line. But going through here, what they're doing, they get 64 million unique visitors a month. Their formula was not accidental. They used an internal A/B testing, running dozens of variations to find what works. Here's what they found. Lead with a number that creates a strong emotional reaction. 97% of people don't know this, and here's the effect, right? Something like shock, fear, excitement, validation, obviously be true. Don't be like the people getting bad statistics, and I don't know what this is, but at any rate, some kind of lamp. We want to go through and look at number 2, creating a curiosity gap that makes them wonder. Frame the stat in terms of identity. Use numbered list. These 13 things are found among the top affiliate marketers, something like that. Then we can get into the news model, which is data journalism. Study finds. Studies find that average people use this toothbrush the wrong way. Annual report cycle, become the source, and on we go. Now, drum roll, let's get into the prompt that finds tons of traffic angles and makes them for you. Here's where it gets powerful. You don't need to manually research statistics. AI can find the angles. You can see over here, I used Manus right here to get a bunch of credit card statistics. Here we go. We got 1.3 almost trillion dollars in debt, 220 million cardholders. Average APR is 22%. Looking at that right there, I can make content about lower than 22% APRs and talk about how it would save money. We can also see a bunch of fraud cases, and on we go. And this literally just finds tons and tons and tons of data points. If we're to look at the raw data here, you can see over 100 different credit card statistics. Obviously, make sure they're true and good, and then just spin them into whatever it is you want. 98% of people have a 23% APR. This card gets 9%, or these people know how to save money, or something like that. Starting to look at this in a straightforward way is really key. Here's another one I did. In addition to credit cards, we did workout statistics. So this one here has 100 different workout statistics. What I'm doing is I'm looking for things that work. If you don't know how to look for things that work, all you do is you prompt the AI next and say, now find how these will work for this gym motivation thing, right? Going through here, we could see the global cost of physical inactivity is $300 billion. It's a lot of money to sit around, right? If current inactivity trends continue, the proportion of inactive adults is going to be 35%. This is interesting stuff, and we can use this. Here's some stuff for exercise after different diagnoses, and all kinds of stuff. Obviously, I wouldn't want to use medical stuff. We're just showing you the example here. Here's another one that I got for affiliate marketing stats. We can see here's all the sources. So there's 100 different sources, and there's a bunch of stats. Only 7% of marketing managers budgeted for affiliate marketing. Interesting. Influencer Marketing Hub reports that by retail, revenue has 44%, 25%, and on we go. And these kind of stats we can go through and really, really focus. Like this here, if you're trying to sell people on affiliate marketing, 50% say affiliate marketing helps their business drive sales and get new customers. So 1 and 2. That's pretty cool. So you could be like, hey, if you're not using this, here you go. 80% said affiliate marketing is becoming more important for revenue. That's pretty cool. So looking at these, we can go through and just really focus on what's happening. We want to figure out what stats matter in our niche. Market size, trends, customer behavior, pain points, spending, demographics, seasonal patterns, regional trends, risks, and cost. And this kind of stuff does really well on social media. There are channels on Facebook and Instagram and short video platforms that literally just talk about statistics. Most of them are generic and they get millions of views. We want to be specific within our niche. That's why in prompt 1, we want to say my niche is, then state your niche here, list the most important types of statistics. So we could go through and do like this. Let's go to, let's say we want ChatGPT just for speed, because ChatGPT will do speed. However, with ChatGPT, sometimes it makes mistakes, so we'll want to fact check it. I mean, all of them do, but ChatGPT is the one with the most. So let's say my niche is, and let's say AI productivity. And this is actually one I'm working on right now, productivity. What's the most important types of statistics I should do? So this is going to give us the types. So like, oh, you know, people that get nothing done or whatever. So now we have the total market size, why this matters. And what this is going to do is it's going to give us buckets of content. So I'm going to put these on my blog. I'm going to put them on social media. And every day or every other day or whatever you're doing, we're going to go through and do like, here's the trends, here's this, here's that. And when you do that, what happens is your content starts to follow a trend. Like Tuesday is trend day. All right, cool. So every Tuesday I do a trend post, do a trend video, or whatever it is. Every Monday I do the market size. Hey, these just happen to match the letter of the day, which is kind of cool. Let's see if we got a W. We don't. But we could do like what people do. That would be customer behavior, right? So Wednesday would be what people do day. And on we go. Now what I'm going to do is say now find 25 stats for each in AI productivity. And we're going to go through and get all this where it's going to just dive deep. Then step 2, which is what we're doing now, is we're using AI to find source ideas and niche search queries. It'll go through and it'll get those stats. Then we organize it, right? We're going to go through and say, organize these. Now, using Manus is going to be the best because it'll go through and it'll outline them. It'll make a notes page. It made this notes page. And it does a much better job. So like this is a page we got from Manus with all of these sorted into buckets and the places they are. This is something super important. Manus is stronger than other AIs, and it'll be good at like putting everything in its own bucket, organizing it with little check boxes so you know what you're posting and when. It's going to be like your content calendar. It's going to go through and build this for you. And then what we can do is we can start with a big post, like, hey, let's make a big monster post about this. Put it on your blog. You should be able to get traffic. I mean, a monster post, if you get it out there, I mean, it should rank for something. It might not rank for the best word, but it'll give you a landing place where you're going to see, oh, hey, we ranked for this, we ranked for that. This is getting us traffic. And more importantly, it's going to give you the starting point of now I can lead all these traffics over here to get the big report, which is great. Now I have a report to give them. See how this is starting to build in a much better way? Smash the like button and let me know as a comment if you're seeing, oh, this is how business actually builds. This is why we have our disclaimer that most people get nothing and make nothing, because a lot of people don't put everything in the categories. Now, even if you put it in categories and do all this, there is no promise or anything that says, yes, this will work. We have to go do the work. What I want to do is I want to do work based on things I know people want, and statistics are that. So going through here with ChatGPT, we can see, where did ChatGPT go up here? There he is. So we're going to go here. We have market size, AI productivity tools market, 8 billion, expected to hit this. This is actually really good to promote my product, Clipter. I have this product, Clipter, which is all about AI productivity, and it's actually pretty amazing. We have an overhaul coming this week I'm really excited about, and I want to get traffic to it. I want to promote it. AI productivity is something that's very big, and we could see all of this stuff here, 300 million companies exploring AI. I would venture to say 90% don't know what they're doing the right way. Here's some trends. Here's some customer behavior. 56% of adults have used AI tools. 28% use AI weekly. 60 to 72 for creative, and on we go. This is stuff that we can use to get traffic, and it has a built-in hook. If I say 68% of people are not using AI correctly, well, I want to read that report. Obviously, make sure it's true and everything like that. Then we're going to go through and get these and organize them. Okay, so I could put them into groups, which we already have groups here. Manus will do that. ChatGPT will do that. Pick your favorite. It'll work. Then we're going to go and find the best stats for traffic. So I could go through here and I can ask ChatGPT or Manus, what are the best ones for traffic? Like what's actually going to work? What's going to stop people from scrolling and say, hey, wait a minute, I use AI. Am I missing out? This is big. So here we have these. AI could add 15.7 trillion to the global economy. That's a pretty good stat. Now, fact check it. Best way to fact check it, just search for it like this. There we go. AI could, so there it is. Here it is. So it looks like a pretty legit stat. I would definitely fact check it a little bit more, but that looks pretty solid, right? I'd go through and now I can have something that work. AI tools save workers 4 to 7 hours per week. That'd be a good one for me. Like AI tools save workers 4 to 7 hours per week. This saves me 50. People will be like, wait a minute, how do you save 50? I want to learn how you're doing that. So pretty good. Again, framing's everything. AI saves up to an hour a day. That's pretty good. I could say it saves me 4. And then back up why. Very important. 37% of people are wasting time fixing AI mistakes. I love that. That'll sell Clipter really good because it's like, okay, they're looking for these AI mistakes, and now I can help you with that by having the right prompt. 52% of workers fear AI will replace it. These are really good. This is stuff that would help me get traffic in a good way. Always make sure that the AI cites its source and put those in your giant post on your blog. You can even set up a new domain name and just have the giant thing. You just go get like affiliate marketing stats or something, put your page up there, see what happens. If you pair it with a auction domain name, like a domain that had some traction, it'll work a little bit better because these behemoth posts are bound to rank for something. And when it ranks for something, I'll see where it lands. And of course, I'm going to get traffic with social media and hopefully build my mailing list and stuff like that. One stat equals dozens of traffic anglers. This is where we're going to get the multiplier prompt. So what we're going to do is we're going to take an example like 62% of small businesses now use AI in some part of their marketing, and we're going to spin it. So we'll go like this, and we'll go to ChatGPT just for speed. I would use Manus, but it takes a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a stat. Let's say, there we go, 40% of AI projects may fail. Or let's do, I'm going to do that big one in the beginning. Let's do, AI could do this. So AI could hit this. So I'll paste the stat here. My niche is AI productivity tools. Audience description, people who want to be competitive with AI in business and jobs. Okay, create 10 blog posts. So now this is going to go through, watch this. This is just, it's going to spin it out into stuff that'll actually work for us. Now, what we're doing is we're looking for unique, good things we can use. We have the 5.7 trillion shift. Are you positioned to win? Where is 5.7 trillion going and how you can capture a piece? How AI productivity tools are powering this economy, on and on we go. So now we see we got like all these short videos, 15.7 trillion. Are you not using AI? And you're not using AI, this number will change how you use AI. AI is creating 15 trillion. Again, this is why you want to make sure they're true, because if you make all this content like these people did and it's not true, well, then you're just lying to people, and you don't want to do that. Always be ethical, always have disclaimers, always tell people what they can expect. Again, these prompts will be over at joinmarcus.com. The way to get them, just go to joinmarcus.com, click on the blue button. That's how you get our notes. And then you can check out the other classes and things that we have coming up this week. We have a schedule of everything so you can see how to get help. This is what we do all day, every day, is work with AI and build businesses. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to spin stats into traffic assets. Every format covered. Blog posts, short videos, Pinterest pins, infographics, sales letters, emails to blog posts and sales letters, and on we go. We could go through and use a blog post prompt like this, where it'll go through and write a blog post based on that. You could do a short video prompt to say, now turn this into short videos. Show the stat, show how it works, lead with the stat. That is the thing that draws everyone in, is that stat. You could do Pinterest pins, sales letters, and on we go. A lot of people don't realize that stats on sales letter help you get sales, sell. I could speak correctly, I promise. But going through and having that sales letter prompt, what's going to happen is now it'll go through and it'll be like, oh, I'm trying to sell this. Most people get this wrong. Most people don't use that. Here's how my product will help you. Very, very key. This is why you see commercials where they're like 5 out of 6 dentists want the big toothbrush or whatever, right? This is very important. Infographics, we can make them for Pinterest. We can make a chart, visualize data. This is something that absolutely gets attention. These types of statistics that get the most traffic. How many people do this? X amount of people do this. Mistake stats. Most people are messing this up. Most people have termites and don't even know it, or whatever. Growth stats, cost, comparison, top, most, or least. Top performers get this. Most people don't know about this. The least amount of people get this, or least effective methods. Headline patterns that work, write these down, or go to joinmarcus.com and get them in our wonderful giant statistics blog post that you can get all these notes and prompts. 15 niche statistics you should know in 2026. The niche stat that explains everything. New data reveals a big shift in niche. On and on we go. These work very, very well, and they fit with the prompt. They fit with the stats. Giving it this prompt, it'll make the headlines. You can pick the ones to use. Again, because they're based on stats, they should do really well. They should get attention. How researching statistics teaches your niche. What's going to happen is by doing this, you're going to learn in a different way who the market is, what they care about, what hurts, what their pain point is, what costs money, what trends are growing, what messages work. This is not just content creation, it's niche education. And it's the easiest way to go from I know nothing about my niche to now I understand what they want. Because this data, using these statistics, using AI to pull this out is the game changer. Again, notes over at joinmarcus.com. What we want to do is build a stats content cluster, the authority strategy. Don't just make one post, make a mini content system. Main giant statistics page, related blog posts, infographics, short videos, and on we go. I'm going to teach this in this week's call, so if you want to join that, click the green button, join Friday's call. I'm going to go over this in detail on Friday's call. Super important. What we're going to do is we're going to turn all of these into lead magnets, citation bait, sales page angle, and on we go. The master prompt, you want to run this for any niche first. So we're going to go through, we're going to take this master statistics prompt, and we're going to get the whole lot. So I'll go through and say, now run this on the niche above. That way I don't got to fill it in. But if you were doing it, you'd put your niche and your audience description. We'll go through right like this, and it'll build the whole thing for us and help us understand what's going to work and why. Very, very important. Next, we want to understand, again, I can't stress it enough, do not fake stats, fact check, be honest, be good. Real stats plus honest framing plus clear context. This is content that earns trust for years. That's how I've been in business for 27 years, and most businesses go out of business. Why? Because I focus. There's a famous book called How to Lie with Statistics. I have the book. It's a good book, but it shows how it's really easy to misuse this stuff, and you don't want to do that. The goal is not fake authority, it's real stats, clear wording. The bottom line is that using stats in your niche is powerful because it works on every level at once. It gets you traffic, builds trust, earns backlinks, gets cited by AI, teaches you your market, and gives you an endless supply of content angles across every platform you use. The formula is simple. Use AI to find the numbers, use the numbers to understand the niche, turn those numbers into a content system everywhere. Get traffic, build trust, get backlinks, get citations, build and grow. And these are the kind of things that people like, and they work well. So try it out. Hopefully you'll get some stats. Again, remembering this is a business. It takes work, it takes effort, and even with work and effort, you might still get nothing. What we want to do is we want to understand what works, why, so that we can emulate it and use AI to help us every step of the way. To get the notes and the prompts, hop over to joinmarcus.com. Be sure you check out the trainings we have up and coming this week. Smash the like button, check out the videos in the description, and I'll see you in the next training.